Hey everyone, how are you? In this video, we are going to solve the Leetcode problem of the day, and the problem is remove subfolders from the file system. The problem category is of medium level, but I would say this is actually a very easy problem to solve. And after watching this video, after understanding the problem and the solution approach, you are going to find it very easy to solve. Now the input given in the problem is an array of strings. So there are multiple strings which are given as an array, and that's the input we have. And basically each of the strings in the array is representing a folder. So the strings are nothing but folders, right? So as we have folders in our file system, right? We have folders like slash computer or comp slash file slash abc slash something, right? We have folders, right? So basically these strings are representing these folders. The output we need to give in the problem is we need to return an array of folders after removing subfolders. So basically the strings which are given as an input are nothing but folders, right? Out of all the folders we have in the array, there are some subfolders as well. We just need to remove those subfolders from our array, and then we need to return our array. Basically we need to return the array of folders after removing the subfolders. We don't want any subfolders, right? Now let me tell you that what is considered as a folder and what is considered as a subfolder. You can call anything or any string a folder if it starts with a forward slash and then it is followed by the folder name. For example, slash files slash video. This is a valid folder name, but video is not valid because it should start with slash, right? So slash video is fine, slash video slash audio is fine, but audio slash file is not fine because it should start with a slash. So simple rule is there. You can call anything a folder if it starts with forward slash followed by the folder name. Now the path of your folder can be deep. For example, slash video is a folder, slash video slash audio is also the valid folder. Then you can say slash video slash audio slash text slash pdf. All these are valid folder path. Alright. So your folder path or your folders can be deep. Now what is a subfolder? Basically you need to remove the subfolders, right? So what is a subfolder? A subfolder is a folder which is within a folder. So when you have a folder like slash video, right? Then I can say slash video slash audio. This particular path is a subfolder, or this particular folder audio is a subfolder of slash video, right? We have a folder video in which we have a folder audio. This audio itself is also a folder, but it is also a subfolder of video, right? So basically we can call a subfolder as something which is a folder, but it is within a folder. It is not the parent folder. It will be within some other folder, right? Then we can call it as a subfolder. Now let me tell you one more thing, that subfolder of a folder, let us say subfolder is nothing but sf. Sf means subfolder and f means folder. So we can say the path of the subfolder will always start with folder, the path of your folder. If you are saying that I have a path, I have a folder which is the subfolder of a given folder, then always the subfolder path will start with the folder's path, also followed by a forward slash. Now let me try to explain this to you. For example, let us say you have a folder slash video. Now this is a folder. As of now, I just know about this folder. Now let us say there is another folder slash audio, but this folder is inside slash video folder. When you go to your video folder, you have another folder inside this which is called as audio. So the path of this audio folder will be slash video slash audio, right? So we can say this particular path, this particular folder is a subfolder of video, and that is because first of all, this audio is within the video folder. Now I am saying that this audio, this particular path is a subfolder of a folder, and that folder is nothing but video. Then you will notice that the folder path slash video is followed by a forward slash. This particular condition, that the subfolder will start with the folder and it will also be followed by the slash, forward slash. So this subfolder started with the folder path slash video, then followed by a forward slash, and then you have this subfolder name or subfolder path or the subfolder. So basically this is a valid subfolder, but let us say there is another path. There is another path called as slash video audio. Now this video audio is a folder itself, right? This is a folder. Just like you have a folder whose name is video, there is another folder whose name is video audio. Now this path is starting from this slash video forward slash video video, but it is not followed by a forward slash, right? There is no forward slash. And that is why I can say this is not a subfolder of this, because this is a completely different folder. This is a completely different folder. It is a separate path. It is a separate path, right? So to ensure that a folder is a subfolder of another folder, The first thing is it will start with the folder path, and the second thing is it will also be followed by a forward slash, and then we can say that our subfolder is within the folder. So now let us try to understand few examples, and while solving these examples, we will build the intuition to solve the particular problem using programming code. So in the example number 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 different folder path. All right. The first is slash a. Let us say you have a folder whose name is a, right? Now you have a folder slash a slash b. So now you have a folder b which is within the folder a, right? So we can say this is a subfolder of folder a, right? That's because when we came to know about the first folder, it is slash a. This cannot be the subfolder of any other folder. As of now, I just know about one folder, so it cannot be the subfolder of any other folder, right? But when we see the second folder, which is nothing but slash a, then slash b, then you will notice that we already have a folder slash a, right? We know about a slash a. Now this particular folder, the second one, is starting with our slash a folder, and it is followed with a forward slash. It means that this is nothing but a subfolder of slash a. So we can say this is a folder we will keep, and this is the folder we can ignore. The output we need to give is we need to return an array of folders after removing the subfolders. So we are going to keep this because this is a folder. We are going to ignore this because this is a folder, but this is also a subfolder, right? This is a subfolder of this one. So we will not include this in our output. Then we have a path which is starting with C, then D. We have a folder D which is within C. Have we seen any folder which can be called as a parent folder of this one? Can this be a subfolder of any other folder? No. Right? We right now know about one folder slash A, another folder slash A slash B. Right? This one we can ignore because this is a subfolder of slash A. But this one you will notice that this is not starting with slash A. Right? It is starting with another path slash C. So when we have a computer, we have a folder A, we have a folder C. In this folder A, there is another folder B, which is this particular path. In this folder C, there is another folder D, which is this particular path. But in our input, we don't have slash C separately, right? So we don't have the parent folder of slash C slash T. So we have to keep this as the parent folder. We have to keep it in our answer as of now. So this is valid as of now. Now the next folder is slash C, then you have slash T, then you have slash E. This is our folder which is within slash C slash T. We have slash C slash T already as a folder. So this is nothing but a subfolder, right? So we have to ignore this one. We will not keep it in our output. Talking about slash C slash F, this is going to be within our output. This is a separate folder, and that is because we have a folder slash C in which we have a folder F, right? You might say that this is the parent folder of this folder, that is the slash C slash F is a subfolder of slash C slash T, but it is not. And the reason is the path is slash C slash D. Our folder path slash C slash F is not starting with this path. Although it is starting with slash C, it is not having this particular path. So it is a completely different path. We have C in which we have a folder D in which we have a folder F. This is a separate path. This is a separate path. They are not subfolders of each other. They are separate paths. If we would have another folder as an input slash C, then both these paths slash D slash F will be the subfolder of slash C. But we do not have it in our input. So what we need to say is, we need to say in our output, this one, and this one. All these three folders will be included, and our output is going to be slash A, comma, slash C slash T, comma, slash C slash F. That's the array we need to return. Now there are certain observations which you will have to make here. The first one is, if our input would have been in a different order, let us say this slash A slash B, this is before slash A. If it is before slash A, then what we are going to do is we are going to first scan this one, and we are going to say, okay, we have a path slash A slash B, right? This particular path is a completely different path. It is not having any parent folder. It is not a subfolder of any path we have seen as of now, because we are going to scan our elements one by one, right? So as of now, I don't know about this element, right? I don't know about the slash A, which is the parent folder of slash A slash B. That is slash A slash B is a subfolder of slash A. We have not seen this as of now. So what we will do is we will say, okay, this is a separate path. Slash A slash B is valid. As of now, it is valid. Now we are going to see this element, right? Or let us say this is before, this is after, right? So what will happen? Now we will see this particular path. So we have this in our output, then we are going to have this in our output, and then we are going to see slash A, right? Now there is a problem. Slash A is telling me that it is the parent of slash A slash B. So now you will have to remove this, right? And this will require us that whenever we see a new data, we have to scan our complete previous data. Or I can say whenever I see a new data in the first point, I will scan my whole data to find that is any of my folder parent of this, or is this folder the subfolder of any of these given folders. Now this will require me to run two loops, right? And the complexity is going to be n square, where n is the number of paths we have. That is because for each path we are going to scan. For this path we are going to scan the complete array, right? But in reality, if you will notice here, the path which is starting with the same folder, they can only be the subfolder of each other, right? Or they can be the parent of each other. It is not necessary. For example, these are starting with C, but they are not parent or subfolder of each other. But these both are also starting with the same path. Then this is the parent of this particular folder, or this is the subfolder of this one. So what we can notice here is, if we could make the folders which are starting with the same path together, then how is this going to help us is this particular folder will be closer and this particular folder will be closer. They both will be close and they both will be close, right? But again, there is a problem. The problem is I want to scan the parent first and the subfolders later, so that if I can store the parent and I see a subfolder /a/p, I have already seen a folder which is starting with this particular path, so I can ignore this. So from here, the pattern which I see is I need to sort my data. If I will sort my data in ascending order, this particular data, A will be first, then we will have A/B/A/P, then we will have /C/T, then we are going to have /C/D/E, then we are going to have /C/F. So if we could sort our data, so our time complexity is going to reduce from n square to n log n, which is more optimized compared to n square algorithm, right? Now after sorting, you will notice that this is my first element. I will store it, right? Then I will see this one. I can ignore this, right? That's because this is the subfolder of my last data which I have seen. So I don't need this. Now what about this? Is this a subfolder of this one? No, it is not. So I will store it, right? So basically you will notice here is my first folder after sorting will always be my parent folder, will always be the part of my answer. My second folder, I will have to compare it with the last answer I know. This is my last answer. Is this folder starting with my last answer? Yes. So I don't need this. This is a subfolder. Talking about this one, is this folder starting with my last answer? No, it is not. So it is a separate folder. Now this is my last answer. This is my first one. This is my second one. So right now I have two folders. First, second. This one is starting with this particular path followed by a slash. So I can say this particular path is starting with /C/D, then followed by a slash. This is my path, right? This is not starting with this particular path. So from here I can say this and this is going to be my answer. Similarly, in example number 2, if you will sort it, actually the input is already sorted. So we can see that this will always be the part of our answer, right? This is the first folder. Then this path is starting with this path, right? /A followed by a slash. So this is starting with this path. So I can ignore this folder. I don't need this because this is a subfolder, and this is also a subfolder because it is starting with /A/, which is my last answer I know, right? Talking about example number 3, this is my first folder, right? Now this is my second folder. This is valid because this is the first one. This is not valid, and you might say it is valid, but it is not. That is because my last folder which I have seen is /A/P/C, basically this one. This particular folder is starting with /A, then /P, then /C, but we have to also say it should be followed by a slash. We don't have a slash here, right? So this cannot be a subfolder. So actually we need to have this in our answer. This is not a subfolder. So this will be valid answer. This will be valid answer. And talking about this one, this is also not starting with the previous answer you have. So this is also a valid answer. So all three folders are valid. So that is going to be our approach to solve this particular problem. Just sort your data and start storing your answers, and for each folder compare it with the last folder you have seen. Now let me take you back to the code editor and let me show you the solution for this particular problem. So this is going to be the complete solution for this particular problem. You first need to sort your data. Then you have to store a variable output which is equal to a list, and the first data of your folders will always be the part of your answer. Then we are going to scan the other data in our folders, and we are going to say if not, f dot starts with, that is our current folder starts with the previous answer we have followed by a slash. If this particular condition is not true, then we can say our current folder is not a subfolder. We are going to keep it in our answer, and finally when we are out of the loop, we can return the output, and this is the complete code. You can submit this code and this is going to pass all the test cases for this particular problem. You can see the runtime is really good. The memory used is really good. So we have solved this particular problem in a very efficient way. And guys, I think that's it for this video. If this video helps you to understand the problem and the solution approach, as well as the thought process behind the solution, then make sure that you hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. I want to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this video, guys.